Alright, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. Double honors to elders, great millstone, and blessings to you all came out there, pushing His truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty to help for the seal the elect. And I'm gonna just get right to the point here. This is an article off of RT, published July 14, 2016. And as you can see, it says U.S. missile defense blasted as flawed and wasteful and dangerous. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read through a little bit of this and show you how this is, filter this article through the scriptures. And it says, U.S. missile defense system deployed in Alaska and California does not work, suffers from fundamental flaws, and endangers the country by encouraging reckless foreign policy in a union concerned, scientists say. And go down a little bit. I'm not going to go too deep into the article. I'm just going to get some key points here because I got some scriptures I need to go through. But, I'll put a link in the description so you brothers can get more details on this article. But see, more U.S. missile defense system is a joke. The U.S. missile defense system to counter attacks from rogue states like North Korea has no power or capability to protect them. See? Now with that being said, I'm going to get some scriptures. I'm going to go to... Because North Korea, they got to worry about North Korea. But North Korea is not really the threat. It's Russia that they really have to worry about. North Korea going to shoot missiles on them too, but on the U.S. too. But according to prophecy, Russia's supposed to really be the devastating blow, man. But I'm going to just get right into it. Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. And Magog and Gog in the scriptures, that's Russia. Because if you do a biblical map, Magog and Gog, those are descendants of Japheth. After the flood, you had Shem, Ham, and Japheth, or you call them Japheth in the Hebrew. So Russia is dwelling in that land today. It says, verse 3, it says, Say, thus said the Lord, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. I will return back thy hooks. It's like I will return thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed in all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. And the Lord said, You're going to put hooks in their jaws, you're going to bring Russia back to the Cold War days, when they was, getting ready to go against the U.S. Verse 5, Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, and with them all of them shield and helmet. Those are all Russia's allies. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togomor in the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. After many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste. But it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. And the point is in verse 11. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm, and thou shalt be like a cloud that cover the land, and thou and all thy bands and many people with thee. Thus said the Lord power. It shall also come to pass at the same time shall things come into my mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. And that evil thought is going to be Russia, man, shooting the missiles on the U.S. and wiping it, laying it desolate. Verse 11. It says, And thou shalt say, I will go into the land of unwalled villages. Now this is the point you want to get into right here. Unwalled villages. The land of unwalled villages. Now we know in the ancient world that a wall will protect the village from intruders, and cannons and stuff. A wall will be the defense. So today a A modern day wall would be a missile defense system, because what a missile defense system sets up an invisible wall that penetrates missiles before they can hit the land. So it says, and thou shalt, and thou shalt say, I will go into the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest. And people in America here are at rest. That dwell safely. All of them dwelling without walls. There we go again. Dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates. And like I say, the modern day wall today would be a missile defense system. The U.S. missile defense system is a joke, because a wall is a defense. Okay. And there I'm gonna get to Revelations 13 chapter. Start from the top. Revelations 13:1. And I stood upon the sand and the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And that beast would be NATO, the EU. And it says, upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the same of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw like unto the leopard, and this is representing the Greeks. They go back to Alexander the Greek, and you read Daniel's, go in the book of Daniel's, that breakdown is in there. Okay, so this is the beginning of the Edomite Empire, and his feet was as the feet of a bear. So that's going to be the end of this Edomite Empire, the bear, which is Russia. So Russia is going to bring an end to this empire. And his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and dragon gave him his power and his seat and a great authority. Okay? Now, as we can see, the leopard represents the Greeks. And the Russians today, the bears, they're Edomites as well. So you got 2 Edomite nations fighting against each other. And that's prophecy right here. It says, and Edomites are you so-called white people, And if Satan, Matthew 12:26, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall his kingdom stand? And his kingdom is not going to stand. And here's another article concerning that. This is the article that states, locking my computer running a little slow. It's an article that states, second. Okay. Why has NATO chosen Russia as its enemy instead of ISIS? So, again, Matthew 12:26. If Satan casts out Satan, the ISIS is supposed to be like pretty much made up of Arab nations, Muslim Arab nations. But instead, the U.S. and NATO has chosen Russia as the enemy instead of ISIS. And why is that? Read this article, read a little bit of this article, and you find out why. Bear with me real quick. This number Satan. Nothing but Satan. Just bear with me real quick. I can. Yeah, we're moving. Patience is virtue. almost there. Okay. Okay, and I'm just gonna get straight to the point here. And I'm gonna start from right here. It says the main reason is because there is very little profit in combating the self-styled Islamic State. So that's why. That's the main reason why they have chosen, NATO has chosen Russia as an enemy instead of ISIS. It says the main reason is because there is very little profit in combating the self-styled Islamic State, and NATO is primary money racket, which provides a lot of influential people with very comfortable lifestyles flying around the globe on private jets and generating well-paid jobs, both directly and via think tank circuit. Let's be clear here, you don't want to require submarines or nuclear weapons to engage ISIL, but you would, it's like in a putative conflict with Russia. The fact such as a collision would probably, due to the atomic arsenal involved, mean the end of human civilization. Is let me see if I can get that down a little bit. It says the end of human civilization is irrelevant to NATO because it does not actually want war with Russia. Instead, it desires to use Moscow as a convenient boogeyman in order to maintain U.S. defense spending, which grew 9% annually. Okay, so with NATO or Moscow, it's like in Moscow, NATO is choosing to engage with Moscow instead because more money. Because Russia is a superpower. Okay, but according to prophecy, they're gonna keep poking that bear, and then they're gonna have to pay. They're gonna have to pay, man. Russia's gonna let those missiles loose on America, and that'll be all. That'll be all she wrote. You know, so they're playing a dangerous game, and Putin said that recently, man. He was pleading with them, you know, you don't know what you're doing. You know, roughly paraphrasing it, you know. But with that, you know, I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh Shimei Hoshai, double honor to elders of great millstone, and blessings to Yakim out there pushing his truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty. Shalom.